Folks, I have made it my life's work to teach people about their constitutional rights and to implore them to always assert those constitutional rights. And it kind of fits with my job because I'm an attorney. Well, God, imagine that. Imagine an attorney, a criminal defense attorney at that, wanting to educate people about their rights. And I've been trying to do this ever since I've been an attorney. Well, I don't know however long ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, Facebook comes along, and I have found, wow, what a great way to get to people. I've got over 10,000 likes now. I think I'm up to 11,000 now. A lot of people follow me on Facebook, and I'm like, this is a great platform to teach people about their rights. Well, with the good comes the bad, and it's come up here again recently. Every once in a while, the naysayers come along. Some naysayer comes along, tells me, I don't know what I'm talking about. It doesn't work. Asserting your rights leads to an automatic 4-day jail sentence. And it just goes on and on. And these people, they all know better than me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see, I went to law school for 3 years, and I've been practicing law. I'm going on my 16th year now. So let's just round that off to 20 years of experience. These naysayers tell me I don't know anything what I'm talking about. They know it all better than me. Ramey, you just don't know. Even though I got 20 years of experience going to the courthouse every day. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, Ramey. You're just an idiot. You don't know anything. Well, when you have a lot of experience in your field, when you've done 3 years of law school, or any field, doesn't even have to be law. Some guy out there, if you're watching me right now and you're a mechanic, and you have some guy that knows nothing about mechanics comes in and tells you don't know what you're talking about. Your advice to maintain my car doesn't work. You don't know anything. I know it all. I know better than you. It really pisses you off. It really pisses you off. And you get tired of hearing it. And I get tired of hearing it. These naysayers, they come around, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, maybe less often sometimes, maybe more often. And I get sick and tired of hearing it. But it's not all about me. It's not all about they're hurting my feelings because, they're telling me I don't know anything. What really pisses me off is that I'm trying to educate people about their rights. I'm trying to get it ingrained in their heads. And then these people come along and post on my Facebook page, which all the people I'm trying to educate are reading, saying, Ramey, you don't know anything. It doesn't work. There's a law that says if you assert your rights, automatic 4 days in jail. Ramey, you don't know anything. You got 20 years experience as a lawyer, but you don't know anything. I'm an expert. You don't know anything. Well, that's what really pisses me off, that they're trying to sabotage my efforts in educating you people. That's what really pisses me off. And when I ask, almost invariably, when I ask people, why did you consent to that search? Well, my friend told me you always have to consent to searches, or else it's 4 days automatic in jail. Or I was talking to one of my clients recently. She told me she was absolutely 100% stone cold sober. And she gets pulled over, cop accuses her of being drunk, hauls her in downtown. She refuses the breath test. And I'm like, why did you refuse the breath test? If you would have taken the test and blown 0, you wouldn't have been charged with a crime. If you would have taken the test and that machine was so off, that it showed you over 0.08, well, yeah, you'd be charged with DUI, but you're still charged with DUI. We're still in court. You're still charged with DUI. So you had nothing to lose by taking the test. Nothing to lose. What was her answer? Oh, well, my friend told me. My friend told me never take the breath test. Never. So, that's what I hear all the time. Some friend who's not an attorney, maybe, I don't want to make fun of a waitress. A waitress is a good, fine, honorable job. But my friend, the 20-year-old waitress at Pizza Hut, she's the one who gave me this wonderful legal advice. Listen, folks, I'm trying to do good here. I'm trying to educate people. And I don't need some person that's never been to law school, doesn't have 20 years of experience going to court every day, filing motions to suppress maybe once a week, several times a month at least, and once in a while getting cases dismissed. Because I know that you should assert your rights. I know that there's no law out there that says automatic 4 days in jail if you assert your rights. You don't even have to go in front of the judge. The cops just say, well, you said no to my request for a consent to search, so automatic off to jail with you. Automatic, it's a law. 4 days in jail. Oh, come on, man. Listen, why don't you people that know it all better than me, that know all the laws and how asserting your rights doesn't work, why don't you start your own Facebook page? You call it, Freddie Wilson's legal advice page, whatever you want to call it, and go spread your misinformation over there. Do not spread it on my Facebook page because it pisses me off. And that's when I guess I hurt some people's feelings recently, because this is typically what I say when one of these naysayers comes to say it doesn't work or it's automatic 4 days in jail. I say, well, Mr. Naysayer, this advice is just for you. You go ahead and consent to a search every time. You go ahead and answer all the police questions. You go ahead and tell the police, yes, I'll wait around for a drug dog. I'll wait 3 hours. That's what I say every time, because I don't know what I'm supposed to say to these people. They don't want to listen to me because they know it all better than me. They all know it better than me, even though they're 20 years old and they're a waitress at Pizza Hut or something. And again, I'm not berating a waitress at Pizza Hut, but I went to school for 3 years and I've been practicing this for 16 years. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm sick and tired of people. The number one thing, giving the cops consent to search. I'm tired of people doing this. I walk into court every day where someone didn't give consent to search, and it doesn't happen all the time. It's not automatic dismissal of their case, but at least I got something to work with. When we go to court, if you didn't give consent to search and the cops searched anyway, I got something to work with. But if you gave consent to search because your friend told you it's an automatic 4-day jail sentence if you don't, if you give consent to search, when we go to court, you're done. You are done. There's nothing I can do for you. Now, some of these naysayers seem to think that I'm telling you that, well, you use the magic words. You say no to a consent to search, and that's magic words. And all of a sudden, the cop just disappears. Poof. In a puff of smoke. And you look around, you get in your car and leave. I've never said that. I've never said that it's just automatically the police encounter is over. I've never said that. But guess what? Sometimes that does happen. I've gotten many reports. Many of them, I posted them on my Facebook page. I've got many reports of people through a email. They write and tell me, hey, I followed your advice. I got pulled over by some cop. He gave me a ticket. And he asked, can I search your car? And I told him no. And he looked at me. He said, well, okay, sir, have a nice day. And he got in his car and left. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. Okay? But let's say you say no to a search and they search your car anyway. Well, then they have to go to court and show that they had probable cause to search your car. And I can challenge that. And I'm very good at it. If the police were wrong, I know the law better than the police. The police are kind of like, sometimes the police are kind of like these naysayers. They think they know the law better than me. Well, we get to court. I've been doing this 20 years. I can trip them up. I can show where they're lying. I can show how what they're saying is a bunch of BS. And the judge is sitting there, Ramey, you know what you're talking about. Case dismissed. I'm granting your motion. And the thing is, you have nothing to lose. When a cop says, can I search your car? You have nothing to lose by saying no. Okay, maybe the cop will lie. Maybe he'll go to court and lie, and you said no to a search, and he said, well, I asked him, he said yes. Okay, maybe that'll happen. But what do you have to lose by saying no? You have nothing to lose. I go to court all the time, and the cop gets on the witness stand. Well, I asked him for permission to search, and he said no, but then I searched anyway because I thought I had probable cause. They don't always lie. Yes, they do lie sometimes, but you have nothing to lose by saying no to a request for consent to search. Now, once in a while, once in a blue moon, I have a police report that says I asked for permission to search and he said yes, and my client tells me I did not say yes. He's lying. I have that happen. But almost every time, 95% of the time, when a police report says I asked for permission to search and the guy said yes, my client says yes, I did say yes. That's true. And I'm like, why didn't you say no? Why didn't you? Well, my friend told me. My friend, the waitress down at Pizza Hut, she told me automatic 4 days in jail if you say no. That's fine. If you want to believe that, that's fine. And if you want to tell me, Ramey, you don't know what you're talking about, you got 20 years experience, you don't know what you're talking about, fine. But what really pisses me off is when you post this stuff on my Facebook page when I'm trying to educate people and other people are reading that and you're confusing them. And they might believe what you're saying. Well, and what's even worse about it, not even posting on my page, when you just go tell people this, and then they get arrested, and then they come see me, and I say, why did you consent to search? Well, my friend told me. My friend told me you had to. Or 4 days in jail, automatic 4 days. And it's, they can't make you say, if they ask for permission to search, they can't make you say yes. They can't. Oh, he got mad at me. They might get mad. I don't care. Let them get mad. Well, and let's say this. Let's say there was some law that said Oklahoma state statute. If you refuse consent to search, 4 days in jail. Let's just say there was some law that said that. Well, for one thing, they'd have to repeal the Bill of Rights before they could even pass a law like that. But let's just say there is a law. And you got 50 pounds of weed in your car. And that 50 pounds of weed is going to give you 10 years in prison. So let's see. They ask for permission to search and you say no. And the law says you get 4 days in jail. So you go ahead and ask for permission to search and you go ahead and say yes. And then you get 10 years in prison. Which is the better trade-off? 4 years in jail, 10 years in prison. But anyway, there is no such law. There is no such law that says you get 4 days in jail if you assert your constitutional rights. There is no law. And you people that want to tell me otherwise, again, I don't want to hear it. Go start your own Facebook page and post all your misinformation that you want. I'm trying to do good work here and educate people just to help them. Because I was in the Army for 4 years. I spent 4 years, and it wasn't a lot of fun. I spent a year in Korea, standing right across the border from those nut jobs up there, freezing my ass off in wintertime, sweating my ass off in summertime, toting a rifle around, sleeping out in the dirt, to protect these constitutional rights that we have in this country. And these rights are worthless if you people just keep waiving them. Yeah, search my car. Yeah, oh yeah. Here's one of my favorites, and this happens about once or twice a month. Some guy gets caught with weed, however he gets caught, in his car or whatever. Well, what's this? What are you going to do with this? Now, what should you say? I got nothing to say. I need to talk to an attorney. That's what you should say. But no, they don't say, I got nothing to say. I need to talk to an attorney, and just end up with a misdemeanor possession charge. They go saying, well, I'm taking that to my grandmother who's sick in bed with cancer. I'm taking it to my brother because he bought half of it. I'm taking it over to my friend's house to smoke it with him. Well, guess what? You've just talked your way in to a felony charge of possession with intent to deliver or possession with intent to distribute. Whatever they call it, it doesn't matter. It's a felony, carries 2 to life. Because you had to open your mouth. All you have to tell these people is, I got nothing to say. I need to talk to an attorney. There is no automatic 4 days in jail if you do that. There is no, oh, it doesn't work. How can that not work? I got nothing to say. I need to talk to an attorney. How can, there is no work or not work. That's just what you say. I got nothing to say. I need to talk to an attorney. They can't make you talk. They cannot do it. You just, okay, yeah. Sometimes there's been rare cases where they've tortured people. They've tortured them and made them talk. That's very, very rare. Okay, very rare. But if the cops want to torture me, well, by God, they better bring it on. They better bring on all their torture devices, because I ain't saying nothing. They can torture me all day and night. I am not going to confess to a murder I did not commit and get the death penalty. God, I'm getting excited, spitting all over the place. They can't make you talk, and if they start torturing you, you pull out the best you can. Folks, please, for God's sakes, please listen to me. Always assert your constitutional rights. Never waive them. And don't listen to the naysayers and how it's automatic 4 days in jail and it doesn't work and whatever else they say. I've been doing this for 20 years. I didn't start this Facebook page to tell people about their rights just because I want to lie. What do I have to gain by lying to you all? And even though I got 20 years of experience in this, I say, well, even though I know how it really works, I'm going to get on this Facebook and I'm going to tell people the opposite just to confuse them. Yeah. Why? I know what I'm talking about. Please, for God's sake, always assert your rights. The 3 big things. I post them all the time. They're on all my cards that I will willingly send to all you people who ask for them. Those are and the reason I talk about the 3 big things, because they're the things that keep coming up that people keep screwing up. There's other things we can talk about your rights, and I do talk about them on my page, but those 3 big things: do not consent to searches, do not make any statements to the police, and always request an attorney. And third is never agree to wait around for a drug dog or wait around to answer one more question or to wait around for anything else. You ask the cop, are you detaining me or am I free to go? Those 3 big things, there are 90% of the screw-ups in all the cases I handle. 90% of them involve those 3 big things. So please, if you don't think, if you don't think I know what I'm talking about, then go, unlike my page and go like the page of some guy you think that he knows what he's talking about. But I'm telling you what, you're not going to find any trained attorney, any actual attorney that went to law school for 3 years, that passed the bar exam, and that has no experience or 20 years of experience. You're not going to find any attorney that disagrees with me. Well, I was going to say maybe a prosecutor would tell you to always waive your rights and always consent to searches. You're not going to find any criminal defense attorney who's going to tell you, Ramey doesn't know what he's talking about. None of that works. Automatic 4 days in jail if you assert your rights. You're not going to find a criminal defense attorney tell you that. Now, again, if those of you who are going to be naysayers, going to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, if I say something back to you and hurt your feelings, that's just tough. That's just tough. Because I'm tired of you people sabotaging my efforts to inform people of their rights and to educate people all about their rights on this page. If you don't like it, tough. That's all I can tell you. Because I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep informing people of their rights, and I'm going to keep, with all my strength and effort, to implore you people to always assert your constitutional rights. If you have any questions, let me know. If you would like some of my Know Your Rights cards, as always, I've always offered them free of charge. I even pay for the postage. If you'd like some of my Know Your Rights cards with the 3 big things you need to know and say to the police during a police encounter, just send me a private message with your address, and I will get them. I will get those cards out to you. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant, and we will talk to you later.